To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So anybody that's been with my channel for any length of time know that I absolutely love the Berkey. For those that want to know how to spell it, it's B-E-R-K-E-Y, Berkey. It is a water purification system. I've had it for a long time, maybe 6, 7, 8 years. Used it all through our nomadic lifestyle. We use stream water out of it in South Dakota and Utah. The way it works is it's a 2-stage filtration system. You have an upper chamber and a lower chamber. In the upper chamber, you have filters, 2 filters. You can put 4 filters in here. There's 2 blanks that you could actually put 4 filters in. So this is what the filter looks like. And there's 2 of them, of course. What happens is you pour water into the top chamber, dirty water, your non-filtered water, and it gravity feeds down into the bottom chamber through these little ports here. So the water is saturating this and it fills in and then comes out this little port right here. Like I said, they filter out just anything you can imagine. The list is endless. This is the box the filter comes in. Sorry about the red food coloring. And it's just everything. Lead, mercury, and arsenic. Arsenic is greater than 99.9. E. coli, there's things in here I can't pronounce. Nitrates, fluorine, magnesium, it just filters out everything. It filters out all kinds of chemicals. If you're using a well and you're concerned that the farmers are putting chemicals into the groundwater, this filters that out. Now, there's some viruses that it won't filter out, but viruses, anything like 99.99% of the viruses it can filter out. But there's a few that can, like hepatitis and different things. Viruses are very small. If you're concerned about viruses, like in a stream water, and you go to the CDC webpage, and you can see how much chlorine to put in each gallon of water. I'm not going to tell you because I want you to do your own research because I don't want to be held responsible. But you put chlorine, just bleach water. It tells you exactly what kind of bleach to buy, non-scented bleach. And you pour your bleach into the water, okay? The bleach kills out the viruses. And then you pour that water into the Berkey, and the Berkey gets rid of the chlorine. So you're still drinking purified water. Taste, and there's no taste to it. Everybody says, oh, it tastes so good. That's true, because there's no taste. It's just pure water. These filters last, according to the website, 6 years. Now, I've never had any last 6 years. In the nomadic lifestyle, we really abused our filters. They got super cold. In some cases, they may have frozen, and it says don't freeze. We use stream water in it, like I said. So ours lasted usually around a year. But again, that was through very harsh conditions. If you're just filtering out your sink water, because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of cities and municipalities don't do a good job cleaning water. You fill a bucket, I've done this, you fill a white bucket with water, let it sit overnight, and you'll see all the sediment that has fallen to the bottom of it. It is pretty dirty. And so you're just getting out all the pathogens and mercury and lead and all the cancer-causing products. It works a lot better than these filters that you hook up to your sink and your refrigerator filters. Unfortunately, Berkey is not sold in Iowa and California. And the reason is Iowa and California require a special certification on all water purification. And Berkey doesn't want to pay for certification. And I don't completely understand why, but something to do with, there's no guarantee that the certification is valid, and they'd have to renew it all the time, and it's really expensive, and just on and on and on. So they just chose not to sell it in California and Iowa, which it started up as a pretty small company. It's getting bigger, especially since the pandemic. During the pandemic, everybody was asking me, where can they get the Berkey? And everybody was sold out. Now, the Berkey filters are $100 for a pair, so you get 2 for $100. And like I said, they last 6 years. Ours lasts about a year. And when you really break that down in cost, ours, if we looked at it, I think it was like 15 cents per gallon. So if you're going out and buying bottled water, you can spend $1 a gallon. So 15 cents per gallon is not too terribly bad. If it's lasting 6 years, I think it's like 6 cents a gallon. Don't quote me on the math, but it's a phenomenal amount of water. 3,000 gallons per filter. So you got 2 filters. That's 6,000 gallons, they say it filters out. Cleaning them, Berkey says take a Scotch pad and just rub it real hard to get all the dirt off. I think what I'm going to try with some of these older filters is I'm going to use white vinegar and see how that works. Now, these filters are old, but they still flowed really nicely. The flow rate was really good, so that means there's not a lot of dirt in them. However, I must have picked up a lot of lead or some hard metal, because hard metals tend to make these things fail a lot faster. Iron, I know one time we were filtering iron, and iron pipes was just clogging these up so fast, and it really slowed down the rate. Well, there's a test that you're supposed to do. And what you do is you use 1 tablespoon of red food coloring. Now, it's got to be this kind of food coloring, where it's that FDC red number 4 and 3. You can't use natural food coloring. It has to be this artificial flavoring stuff. And it will filter out the red food coloring. So you pour 1 tablespoon into the top chamber. In this case, it's 3 gallons, so you pour 3 tablespoons in, and then you fill it up with water. And when it drains into the lower chamber, it should be clear. It will filter out the red food coloring. Well, if they're going bad, you'll start to see that it's the water that's coming out of it is pink. It's filtering out some of the food coloring, but not all the food coloring. So you know that they're starting to go bad, and you replace them. Well, I struggle with replacing them because I know that they're still doing a fairly good job. They may not be getting rid of all the bacteria, but they are getting rid of a lot of the dirt and chemicals and different things. Because, like I said, the thing that wears them out the quickest is metal. So since I know that I'm putting metal through these things, then why not still use these if it's just struggling to filter out the metal now? So I try to recycle them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to build a Berkey. So you don't have to necessarily buy one of these things. Because like I said, during the pandemic, they sold out. Everybody was out. But they were still selling the filters. You could still buy the filters. Well, there's an easy solution to this. You can simply build your own tanks, your upper and lower chamber. So I already put it together, so you don't have to see me sitting here drilling everything. But you're going to use a bucket and a lid. And it's really that simple. That you're going to drill holes into. So what you're going to use is a 3/8 drill bit, and you're going to drill 2 holes into the bucket. And then you're going to take your filters, and they come with little wing nuts here. Just like the Berkey has a top chamber, I'm going to create a top chamber using a bucket. And all you got to do, now that I have my holes drilled, with the 3/8 drill, you got to kind of screw it in there. And you just kind of tighten it up like that. And then you're going to take your second filter and do the same. Now you take a lid. And in this case, you're going to have to use a 1/2-inch drill bit. And you're going to drill 2 holes that line up with the Berkey exit ports. Okay? Once you have that done, I hope you can kind of see where I'm going with this now. Now you take a lower chamber, which you don't have to drill holes in. You can use just any old bucket now. You put your lid on that bucket. You put your Berkey filters right on top of it. And now all you have to do is dump water into the top and let it gravity feed into the bottom. So now you've created your own Berkey water filtration system. This is going to come in real handy if something happens to our grid. Now, recognize I live off grid, so this is very important to me. We have well water. I run my well off my generator, and I fill up an IBC tank. I've said this a lot in other videos. And then the IBC tank, we just pump into our house with an RV pump. Like I said, I put chlorine in the IBC tank that kills everything. It doesn't take out the lead and the mercury and whatever chemicals might be in the ground from the farmers. Then I pump it into the Berkey, and I can drink Berkey water. But if something was ever to happen where I couldn't start my generator, for example, I can go to the river or lake and get water, and I can put it in here. They advertise that you do this. Now, the problem with using lake and river water, the more dirty the water is, the faster the filters clog up. So you'll be using that Scotch pad a lot. And the more you use the Scotch pad, of course, the faster you're going to wear out the filter. So since I'm using old filters, I'm going to use the old filters as pre-filters. and then I'll have an accumulation of water here of pre-filtered Berkey water. So what I'm trying to do is, okay, I got most everything out of it. Then I'll use my newer filters in my Berkey here, and I'll run that through again in here, and that way I won't wear my new filters out near as fast. I'd be much happier wearing these old filters out. This here, just the tank alone, is probably about $150, and then you have another $100 for the filter. So it can run up in cost for your initial expense. So, thanks for watching.